all the way by Shmo Yo Ho right here on 89.5 The Wave. We are joined still by Joe of Game Babble. You can catch him on Wednesdays at a certain time and a certain radio station, which is this one right here.
Yeah, from noon to 3.
Yeah, that's the times. I just have hard times remembering numbers.
I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Hard times.
Anyway, we are continuing on our Nintendo launch day discussion of all the things great and wonderful and beautiful. So beautiful. My first question, I'm going to start off with a nice one. Which color Switch did you buy, by the way? I'm just interested in that one.
I'm getting the regular gray one just because that's the one I wound up with. How about you tell him about that Twitter poll so I can tell you about the story?
He really wants me to start off with a Twitter poll. Let's start with a Twitter poll then. We go to our friend from The Know, owned by Rooster Teeth, Ashley Jenkins, who released a Twitter poll of almost 6,000 votes of, are you planning on buying, waiting, or skipping the Switch? And someone's part of the 16% over there, buying. 16% buy, 50% wait, and 34% skip. And explain why the thing you said.
Right, my story.
Yes.
Originally, I was going to wait on the Switch. And that was because I was getting really mixed messages about it, because some people were super excited, and a lot of people were really angry and did not like the Switch. And I had a bad experience with the Wii U launch.
Yes.
Because my stupid butt, I went out there, I bought the Wii U on launch day, no pre-order, and that meant that I couldn't get, like, the good one. I went with the cheap, crappy one that didn't come with... it didn't come with Nintendo Land, and it had the smaller hard drive.
Yeah.
And I bought Nintendo Land separately, and that wound up causing that one to cost more while having a smaller hard drive, which quickly filled up, and then I had to go out and figure out how to get an external hard drive working on my Wii U. And, about 2-3 weeks later, there were Wii U's everywhere, and it was no problem getting one. I don't think it was a problem the day after launch that much. I mean, just trying to get the decent one, and then a month later you could get the decent ones, and I was like, oh geez, is this what the Switch is going to be again? I'm not falling into that trap. But I have a friend from out of state who I'd like to thank you very much, Angelica. She was really excited about the Switch, and she pre-ordered 2 of them, because she was like, you know what, I want to be sure I have this thing pre-ordered in case one of the pre-orders goes bad, because she called it. Amazon was canceling a few of the Switch pre-orders, so she pre-ordered one on Amazon and one at GameStop, and then when everything looked fine, she was like, hey, you want the other one? And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, I'll totally go with that. Once it's offered to you like that,
exactly.
It's like, yeah, well then. And sure enough, she went in line and bought the one for me last night, which is the all black and gray one, and she's getting the red and blue one when that one comes out. And yeah, so that's why I'm winding up with a Switch, because I want one. I know I'm going to need one in the near future, because I really like Nintendo games. While I regret purchasing the Wii U...
as most of us do.
At launch, I don't regret purchasing the Wii U as a whole. That's the thing. And the Wii U is about as bad as it gets with a Nintendo console, because they had to carry that whole thing by themselves.
Yeah.
But I do admit I love Nintendo games enough that I will buy a console just for them. I am their exact target audience. I am the exact tool that they're using.
Yeah.
But I'll do it. I will do it. And so, yeah, that's why I'm getting a Switch, because I'm actually really curious to see if this is actually going to be sold out for as long as Nintendo wants it to be sold out.
It's funny you mention that, because apparently there is one city, a Best Buy still has a couple.
Yeah.
Which is hard to believe. Very hard to believe.
Yeah,
extremely hard to believe.
I'm starting to wonder.
I don't think anybody wants to buy from Best Buy.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if, they're probably not doing this, but the fact that Nintendo keeps releasing things in such limited quantities, I almost wonder if they're the scalpers. Is this their new business strategy? Because, like, the NES Classic is the most ludicrous thing
God,
I've ever
I
seen.
still want one. I desperately want to find that thing. Because it is... I'm willing to buy that TV combo that they're selling at, like, Walmart and such, just to get my hands on this NES Mini Classic.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, see? And that is not an expensive thing to produce. I don't know why Nintendo is shipping so very few of them unless they're the ones scalping it. It's literally the only thing that makes sense because they're very cheap to produce an NES Classic. And like most stores have reported that they got like numbers in the single digits. Like I heard about one Target, they got 3 NES Classics. They were restocked once with like 1. And they all sell out super fast. It's like, yeah, this is like the stupid Rosalina amiibo all over again. Which
the amiibo talk again.
Yeah, the amiibos.
Oh, good lord.
I told you they were a thing.
I still don't remember it.
I remember it.
Oh, it was very much a thing. The Rosalina amiibo was the most frustrating amiibo of all time because it's actually used in a bunch of games.
Yeah.
But it was a Target exclusive up until they did the Super Mario series. Now, the Smash one was Target exclusive. Took them a minute to come out with it, and they shipped maybe 12 to a Target at launch, and then they vanished, and then they got restocked maybe once with 1 or 2. It was the hardest amiibo to find. And I'm just sitting there going, you need to release a Super Mario Brothers series Rosalina. And they finally did, and yeah. Speaking of which, on the complete flip side... This annoys me deeply. The Princess Daisy amiibo cannot be used with a single Wii U game. Even though there's a Daisy costume in Mario Maker, it doesn't get you the Daisy costume. It's one of the few that doesn't work with Mario Maker. It doesn't do anything with Yoshi's Woolly World, which works with like nearly everything. It doesn't work with Mario Tennis, which has Daisy in it. It doesn't work with Mario Party 10, which has Daisy in it. The Daisy amiibo works with nothing except a 3DS Mario Party game they came out with, which I don't care about.
Yeah.
I can't believe they did that. I don't even know what's going on with amiibos anymore. I have officially given up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Our big question now is, how big are your hands?
They are very tiny and
On a
ladylike.
scale of Donald Trump
To Andre the Giant, how big are they?
I haven't really seen Trump's hands, but I would say either Trump or a size above Trump.
Okay, well then the Nintendo Switch controller will be good for you. Because we have it after a lot of research from other reviewers saying that people with big hands, it's just going to nuzzle into the palm of your hand. But people with small hands, it'll be like a PlayStation or Xbox controller. It'll hang down, and it'll feel comfortable while
It'll
playing.
be like those controllers to people who have big hands.
Exactly.
For me, the Xbox controller comes down to about my wrist, so I can just curl up into it.
Yeah, I was going to say, the PlayStation and Xbox both reach down underneath my hand, so I'm assuming it would be too big, or my hands would be too big for the Switch controller, too.
Yeah.
And we'll find out soon enough.
We'll find out soon enough. And
Yeah.
with that following up, what is your thought of the placement of buttons and such on the Switch controller as you can see it currently?
I didn't really look too hard at it. I know it's a little
Because
funky-ish.
I think we all know Nintendo, key placement of buttons, the absolute perfection, pinnacle of button placements of any game controller ever. Am I not wrong? Not wrong, right?
You're not wrong.
GameCube controller, beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Love using a claw grip just to hold on to it to play Super Mario World. Absolutely love it.
And the funny thing is, I really love the GameCube controller for how it feels.
Oh yeah, it feels amazing. It's
the
just
most comfortable controller I've ever held.
the buttons are just so oddly shaped. I mean, you got the little tiny red B button, giant green button, and then the X and Y weird around the A button.
Oh yeah, the Z button on top. That's my favorite thing. Like, for a while, a joke was, where's the Z button? Because on all Nintendo controllers, people kept missing the Z button. It was so well hidden.
It was
But
perfectly hidden.
I get what Nintendo was going for with the GameCube controller. Because I think their idea was they wanted to have this button layout that really encouraged developers to simplify their games more and have one big central button, because really every game has that one button you push
Yeah.
a lot, and it's like, that's going to be the A button, and if we just have a giant A button in the middle of the controller, that'll tell everyone this is your button you push, this is the go button,
Yep.
this is what you want. But yeah, for anything that was multi-platform, which was most of that generation,
Almost
it was just
every game.
it was just awkward and weird. Yes.
Yes. Okay, now she has a question, or not question, thing to bring up, I guess is the words I'm looking for.
Okay, so my problem right now with the Big Switch is the fact that it's not appealing to people outside of the Nintendo fan base to me. I look at it, and right now a lot of it is unknown. They're not really trying to, like, get people who are, like, playing the Xbox One and PS4 and PC, and they're not trying to get stuff to bring them into it, because you kind of look at a lot of the Switch launch titles right now, and a lot of the stuff that's coming out in the future, and a lot of it is stuff that you can get on the PC, on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, and it's not really trying to appeal to me by going, look, here's this great game that you can play. As a PC gamer, I mean, since I play on my laptop, I can basically bring my game anywhere I want already. I mean, I can sit there and buy it on Steam and then go pick it up and play it wherever I want. So how is the Switch going to appeal to me? It's not really trying to appeal to anyone right now, except for the Nintendo fans right now.
Yeah, and I think that's just a really hard thing for Nintendo to switch, or to do. It is a hard thing for Nintendo to switch. Nintendo's gonna make Nintendo games. I don't think they know how to make anything but Nintendo games, and so what they need is third parties. And everyone raves about that picture of all that third-party support, but the Wii U had the same picture.
Yeah.
Maybe a little sparser, but, just because everyone says, oh, we're going to make games for it, doesn't mean they actually are. And Nintendo only has so much control and power to get third parties to make games for the Switch. A lot of it is going to be catching their attention, and it's... it is interesting. I do wonder why third parties didn't know and start developing for the Switch sooner. I'm wondering when Nintendo actually sent out their dev kits, because maybe that was something they could have fixed.
Yeah, because there's a lot of talks even about how, like, Skyrim is not going to be the HD remastered, and it might not even be the original. It might be just an exclusive because they had to redo everything just for the Switch. And same thing goes for, like, FIFA, because FIFA even said it's not going to be what you have on PlayStation 4. It won't be what you have on Xbox. It's going to be a completely different game for the Switch. Do all these mean that this is going to be the dumbed-down version of these games?
That is a really good question. Another one that's doing that is Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2.
That's another one.
That one is really awkward because Dragon Quest Heroes 2 isn't out in America yet, and... the Switch in Japan is launching with one that has at least one extra character. The thing I will say about that one, because people were using it as a good graphical comparison, is that in Japan, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 were released on PlayStation 3 as well as PlayStation 4. So that's why the graphics look worse, is obviously they're quick porting the PlayStation 3 version instead of the PlayStation 4 version. But that does raise the question of, could it have run the PlayStation 4 version or not?
Yes, because it's always being asked that question because it's looking that way. It looks like it's going to be a dumbed-down version, and a lot of people don't want a dumbed-down version. We want to have the HD remaster. We want to have for FIFA players, we want to have all the rosters of all the countries, of all the different leagues of the world.
Exactly.
We don't want just the teams from Spain and France.
I'm going to say a lot of this could have been alleviated in a backwards way if the Switch just had 3DS backwards compatibility.
Yes.
Because then our expectations would be completely different.
Oh.
Because we're holding it to console standards. We're expecting it to be a console, even though in a lot of ways it's supportable, but I don't know if Nintendo knows it's supportable, and... That's like...
that's what we've been noticing a lot, is they're saying, this is a console, but it seems like every single game out there is, you're going to get the best resolution, you're going to get the best gameplay, you're going to get the best of everything by going portable.
Exactly. I even heard some people saying that, like, whenever you dock it on the TV, it lags a lot. There's a lot of little jaggies everywhere. It's not fully keeping up. But then when you have it on the handheld, it's all beautiful, it's nice, it's keeping up, nothing is going wrong with it. And it's just kind of like, this doesn't really seem like it's really apt to be played on the dock.
I'm amused by this because that means it's like a backwards Wii U.
Yep.
Because with the Wii U, you do get some artifacting and jaggies and things when you're playing it on the gamepad because, of course, the console is where the game is and it's sending the signal to the pad, but apparently the Switch is going to do that the opposite way where the dock is getting the signal from the pad, but that actually seems really, really dumb. Unless there's a way to play it on the TV while holding the unit in your hands, that's actually really dumb. Why wouldn't you just have a plug in the base that sends the direct signal to the TV?
Well, that's because the tablet is the console itself.
Right. But,
that's why.
No,
the dock is nothing but empty cords.
Well, right, but you could have like a proprietary video out on the tablet itself, and then when you plug it into the dock, it just plugs into that proprietary video out. That's how I thought it was going to work. The fact that Nintendo is sending a signal wirelessly to the dock while it's in the dock, Nintendo doesn't always make sense.
They don't.
That's
no, not
dumb.
really.
That is phenomenally dumb, actually.
It's funny because for our final point on Nintendo Switch launch day, speaking of really dumb, what is your thought on the fact that they're going to make you do friend codes still? You don't get to just type in the username. You have to go get that 16-digit arbitrary numbers and letters and dashes and all that other great thing.
You gotta take a picture, you gotta send it to your friend, you gotta hope that your friend all does it, and then they probably have to do it to you, because I don't know, I don't really mess with friend codes.
Because
it should be at least mildly streamlined, because actually it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense because Nintendo moved away from that with the Wii U. Why would they be going back to it?
According to them, they are making one change that you both don't have to share each other's friend codes. Only one of you has to send the friend code request. Other person just has to accept it. But still, remembering the arbitrary numbers and letters is still bad when you just memorize a name. Like I said for her, like May 666.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be one. But I will also say I might be making too many assumptions here, but I'm going to assume that that the friend code is universal. Because one of the real problems with the old friend codes was that each friend code was game specific.
Okay.
So hopefully at least you do it like once and then the accounts are connected as that's a friend and then it works in all the games, I would assume, but I'm surprised they're going back to that after the Wii U did away with it, so I'm going to assume they had some kind of problems on the Wii U because of that.
The question is, what problems did they not have with the Wii U?
Yeah, that's the real question.
Getting me to buy it.
Yeah.
That was one problem they didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have much problem me buying it either, but granted, I just bought it only a year ago. Back in February.
Well, that makes perfect sense, and there's
it came with Mario Maker, so
yeah,
that's what sold me. That's what sold me on the Wii U.
There's a lot of good stuff on the Wii U.
It's just they didn't know how to sell it properly, and that's how the system died.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They also didn't have a lot of developers on it to make games.
It was all Nintendo all the time.
That's what everybody's afraid of for the Switch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once they start getting out better games that are more original and third-party, then I definitely see it possibly attracting the other gamers. Because right now it's only attracting the Nintendo fans, which is not really going to help them sell above their marketed range if their market is already guaranteed. The thing is trying to get outside your market and steal the other consoles, like steal their fans.
Yeah,
give them something that they don't have.
Once you have a diehard Xbox and PlayStation player, you have a diehard Xbox and PlayStation player for life. It's hard to steal them away.
I wouldn't. Well,
it's hard. It's hard. I'm not saying
hard.
impossible. It's hard.
It is hard.
I'm not saying the diehards, but I'm saying like the casuals, kind of like me, the person who just kind of plays on whatever is available to me and that I like.
Yeah.
And I switch to wherever the obscure low-budget Japanese games are.
There we go. All right. That should cover everything that we have to talk about. I believe.
Not everything on mine, but everything.
But you have some. Screw you, May. That's all I got to say about that.
Virtually, if we're going to cover everything I have, it'll take the whole entire session of me just talking.
They pretty much
Which
would.
is not the whole point of this. But I still did my research. You cannot yell at me. This is my whole research for the whole year.
Can't yell at you for the first time ever.
All the research I'm going to do for the whole year.
All right, Joe, plug your show for one final time.
All right, if you want to hear more of me, I'm Jell. My show's called Game Babble Live. It airs every Wednesday from noon to 3 p.m. here on 89.5 FM KCFV.
And you can also find him on YouTube at Game Babble, correct?
Game Babble Show.
That's the word. I looked it up because I wanted to get an idea of who you were.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know if I'm allowed to plug my YouTube show or not.
You can plug it.
Okay, cool.
If I couldn't plug my YouTube show, I wouldn't have 51 subscribers.
Go you!
Yay.
Yay.
6 months of progress. Yay. Anyway, that's it for Nintendo Switch launch day coverage from us because we're almost out of time. We're running low on time.
Yeah, and I need to leave soon.
She has to leave. He probably has to leave. I want to leave too. Taco Bell is calling my name. Like hardcore.
Oh, get the naked chicken.
No, I'm not getting a naked chicken for last time.
The naked chicken tastes so good.
Here is Something Bad by Miranda Lambert and Carrie Underwood right here on 89.5 The Wave.
Stand on the